hills out of sand, reaching for the grand. As willows align, we lose track of time. Head up high, now we climb. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond dawn. A bigger scale, the world inhales as we go. I wouldn't want it any other way, no. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond oak. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond oak.
Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to Life with Sheila. I am ready for the day, at least from the neck up. I still have on cozy pajamas. It is still dark outside. It is 6:45 right now. And I'm sitting down and I was fixing to dig in and start working on something. But then I have learned to keep this book by my laptop, or at least on the dining room table, because I like to sit with my pumpkin spice cappuccino, and I like to kind of just take in the morning. Yesterday morning, I snoozed in bed a little longer after Joel left for work and before I had to get the boys up, because it still gives me time to shower and do all the jazz. But this morning, I'm sitting in the quiet of the morning. A cold front just really is blowing through. You might still hear rumbles of thunder. I know I do. And it's just so peaceful. And I'm reminded of all the times when I started staying, when I stayed home when the twins were babies, I really embraced the early morning hour, especially the time between the time he left and the time the children woke up. And it was just quiet and peaceful. I could enjoy my coffee. I could enjoy the pace, the slow pace of a day. I could get things done if I wanted to. But there's something about morning and night that is just breathtaking if you stop and just let it sink in. You know, the morning starts a new day, and the evening time we're ending that day, and we have hope for the next. Whether your day is tough or not, in the middle, I don't know about you, but in the morning I'm home and I'm getting my day going, and I'm in charge of my day. I'm in charge of my day. I'm in charge of me. I'm in charge of my emotions. I'm in charge of my reactions. I'm in charge of everything that is before me. Now, things may happen and situations may pop up that I have no control over, but I'm in charge of me. And when I come home from work, again, I'm back in my castle. Some of you, it may be a peasant home, I don't know, but to me, it is my castle, my place of serenity, my safe haven. And things may go awry, and there's been times it didn't feel like it was my safe haven. But that was in my reaction, not in the fact that the night was coming. All that to prelude. I want to read something. I'm going to read part of today's part for this book. Again, this is Simple Abundance, a day book of comfort and joy. I am loving this. I wish I would stay consistent and read it daily. I really do, because there is just so much wisdom and grounding for the moment. And getting to remember to do it in the morning instead of evening makes a world of difference, at least for me. I'm one of those, I look for inspiration, I look for motivation, and I look for encouragement in pretty much everything I surround myself with. But in this particular day, it's ceremonials for common days, celebrations for common days, however you do it. But she was talking about a book that she had purchased that was written in 1923. 1923. It was Abby Grwm. Ceremonials of Common Days was the actual book. I'm going to look it up and see if I can find it, because it amazed me what I'm fixing to read to you, because this was in 1923, almost 100 years ago, if you put it into perspective. Almost 100 years ago. And this is what she said. She said, to make a day, it took an evening and a morning, at least to make the first day. But that was when the world was new, and there it was, only light and darkness, day and night, and God. Abby Grwm calls to her remembrance, the world has grown more complicated since that creative era. I wonder how complicated it was in 1923 versus 2019. To take a day now, it takes bells and whistles and clocks and desks and committees and meetings and money and the serial of daily newspaper editions and hungry people and people who are too tired and luncheon engagements and telephones and noise and shouting and much, much hurrying. All these things and many others it takes now, in addition to an evening and a morning. Perhaps those ingredients are necessary for the concoction of the day, but when I come to observe the ceremonial of evenings and mornings, they do not seem to be the reasons why light and darkness were separated, and day and night were created. Whatever be my philosophy, I too must work to make money, to pay my share towards the bells and whistles, and the trains and the luncheon engagements and the privilege of hurrying. But as I watch the stars of the evening, and in the morning open my window toward the east, I shall observe the ceremonial quietness of heart, of simplicity, of poise of spirit, that I might keep my soul and the souls of others free from entanglements in the machinery of a day. I just found that to be so inspiring, so I wanted to share that with you. Now I'm going to hop on my laptop. I have some comments I need to respond to, and I need to do a little bit of research for something I want to plan out. And then it'll be time to get up the boys, vacuum the floors, and I think I'm going to prep a couple things for dinner tonight. I will be filming dinner tonight, but it is actually going to be up on Friday, that part, because that is going to be Fall Food Friday. I am going to share a nice, delicious supper recipe. One that is entangled in the word slow. Not really. It's not. It takes time to cook, but there's not a lot of prep time, which those are the meals I love, especially on a Sunday or a weekday. Like today, a cold front's coming through, so by the time everyone gets home this evening, the wind will have a little bit of blusteriness to it, and they'll be ready for a home-cooked meal. My windows will be open. I'll be ushering in that autumn wind, at least for a little bit, because that's where my heart is today, and I'm just glad and honored to share it with you. So there you go. Welcome to another vlog. Maybe this will make up for no video on Wednesday. I hope so. So there you go. I am gonna let you guys go so I can tackle this before I go wake them up. I will see you soon. Hey guys, it's after work now. You guys saw me as I was getting ready, and now I am in the kitchen after work trying to prep dinner. Last night I decided to make an easy dinner. So tonight I'm trying to make it up for the family, even though they enjoyed what we had. Right now I have a pork tenderloin. It is a gloomy day, so I'm not going to grill this one. I'm going to roast it in the oven. Excuse me. Right now I'm just drying off this pork tenderloin so I can season it well. So before I coat it with oil, with a little bit of olive oil, I'm going to put all of my seasonings in a bowl. And I am dumping. I'll tell you what I'm using, but I'm kind of guesstimating. I always need a spoon to lift up this part of the pepper, the black pepper. There we go. It's probably about a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon and a half of black pepper. Good 2 teaspoons of garlic salt. This I also will use on chicken. I used this rub, about a half a teaspoon, about a teaspoon of thyme, dry thyme, and I'm gonna use about a teaspoon of rosemary. Shelby says hi. Shelby girl. My football guys will be home here any minute. I did use garlic salt. I'm going to put in just a little bit of paprika for more color than anything. To me, paprika doesn't really have a paprika, however you say it, really doesn't have a lot of flavor, I guess. It doesn't add a lot of flavor, but it does add a little color. I'm gonna put in about, I had to redo some of my spices. I went through my spices over the weekend before I went to the grocery store, and I needed to replace a few because this is the time of year that I use a lot of like onion powder and garlic powder because we make Chex Mix. And I have to open this. How are you guys doing today? Hope you're well. I'm gonna put in about a teaspoon and a half of onion powder. I love the smell of onions. With this pork tenderloin, I am making macaroni and cheese, homemade macaroni and cheese, and onion roasted sweet potatoes, which is part of a collab recipe video that you will see on Friday. I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of parsley. That is going to be my seasoning mixture. Oh, I'm like, what does that go on? Put you guys down here in a second and you can see what I'm doing. You're gonna see a lot of green. A lot of that is because of the parsley, but it has an amazing aroma. So now I am going to let me put these seasonings up. I can't handle it. Anyone else, things have to be in their place so you can concentrate, person? Because I surely am. What about your weather? We had a cold front come through today. I'm sure you guys all got it too, or will be getting it. If you haven't already. Let me dump you down for a minute here. Move you over so you can see this and not me. Perfect. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put a little bit of oil, and I'm using olive oil because it's good for you and it's gonna help keep this pork tenderloin moist. Of course, I'm gonna roast it at 400 degrees. And you really only need to roast it for about 25 minutes or so. Just give my hands a quick wash. I'm going to be working on the computer this evening, doing some writing. You guys might see a little bit, not writing, but prepping. You guys might see some of that here in a minute. You might not. Oh my goodness. Good girl. Kids are out riding their four-wheelers along the canal behind the houses. Not my kids. Like I said, they're still at football. I'm fixing to sneeze because I have pepper in here. And honestly, you guys, I should have waited and did that side last because that's the side I want to do down. Okay. And you're probably going to shake your head at what I'm fixing to do. But one, massage it in. You're not going to shake your head at that. I like to pick up from there, which is fine, because that will help continue to flavor it. This morning before I left for work, I put some yeast rolls out to defrost. I like to make my own, but I bought a large bag of yeast rolled dough. So you just spray a pie plate, spray it real good, and put 9 out, and leave them to rise all day, and you've got homemade rolls. We call them home opened rolls because I didn't actually make them. I just defrosted them. That is almost done. I love having time in the afternoons, coming home before anyone else gets in. Just put clothes in the dryer, prep dinner, do all the things I need to do so that when everyone comes home, I don't have to be hustling and bustling, because that makes it a little tough. You are going to put a few pats of butter on each one. This is going to help not only make it delicious, but it will keep it moist. And to also help roast it to be absolutely amazing. You guys know I really like the pork tenderloin that I do on the grill. But again, it is windy and gloomy and still kind of drizzly, which it was supposed to be about a long time ago. But I did not want to be out there. Okay, so I used a half a stick of butter. So each one of these has a 1/4 stick of butter. And then again, I'm going to put that in at 400 for about 25 minutes or so. I do not have a meat thermometer. I kind of just eyeball it. Pork, you kind of want to serve a little pink on the inside, that especially the pork loin, or tenderloin and the loin, because it doesn't dry out, and it's just best served that way. So 25 minutes should do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my sweet potatoes in the oven, and then this will follow and cook along with that as soon as those get going. And I will show you dinner when it's finished. I thought I would show you, these are the rolls after they have risen all day. When I put them in, there's plenty of space in between them, and then they just rise and form these delicious yeast rolls. Definitely give it a shot. It makes any dinner special. And it's the middle of the week, so I want to serve my family something special just because it's Wednesday.